Boom, here we are. Thank you, Sugar Ray, man, for coming here. Holy shit, we got a real OG
Thanks
right
for
now.
asking me.
Yeah, thank you for coming, man.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, I want to get through all the old school guys and get you guys to share your story because you got a lot, man. You got some footage here to show me, 3 hours worth. So
Yeah, it's not all breaking and it's not all hip hop. There is some foreign language movie right at the end.
Yeah.
I taped over some stuff, but it's all good.
Yeah, man. So let's start off with if you could share your story. Well, first of when you were first exposed to hip hop.
All right. Well, I think the end of '83, I was 14, and there was a guy at my school, rest in peace, Brad Skews. He wore nice shirts and had the baggies and nice shoes, and everyone was saying, "Oh, have you seen him dance? Have you seen him dance? He's a really good dancer." I said, "No, what?" I didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And then for some reason we were in school, and he was like, "Oh, have you seen that movie Breakdance?" And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Breakdance." And I go, "No, what's that? What's that about?" And he goes, "It's about dancing." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I go, so, like, what do they do? I didn't know. I had no idea. I didn't know what hip hop was. Didn't know what rapping was. I'd never heard the term breakdance. So he said, "Oh, it's got dancing and music and art." I said, "Okay, cool." So on the school holidays, I think it was about maybe halfway through the school holidays, and I thought, "Oh shit, I haven't seen any movies," because on the school holidays we'd always go into town, watch movies, go to Hungry Jack's, Macca's, have some lunch, come home. $5 would usually do it all, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those times.
Yeah. So anyway, to cut a long story short, the person that I was when I walked in to see that movie was not the same person that came out.
Yeah, right.
And it redefined how I define myself for the rest of my life.
Oh shit.
And that sounds kind of crazy, but I imagine that must have happened to more than one person. You know what I mean? Because yeah, man, I was blown away. I came out later that night. I think I went to a dance. I think it was a Greek dance actually, because I had Greek friends. Shout out to
Mega?
all the Vresi Pustu Klanyas. Don't worry about that. And anyway, so I was at this disco, and people were dancing and making circles, and I was remembering stuff that I'd seen on the movie, like just 6 steps and backspins.
Yeah.
And that. I had no idea what I was doing, and then I just started getting down, and I don't know, man. I just started doing it. Cut forward last week of the school holidays, I'm walking through town and I see this big huddle in the middle of Forest Place, which is called Forest Place back then.
Yeah.
And I went to Kent Street, so when I saw something like that, I thought, "Oh, there's a fight."
Right.
So I'm running over. I don't know if I was by myself with a friend, and I'm going over there. And as I'm getting closer, I'm seeing legs.
Right. You're like, man,
I'm
I'm
like,
following these guys around.
I'm like, what the Get a bit closer, and I can see there's cardboard on the ground. There's dudes with tracksuits, and there was 2 crews battling. I believe one crew was Perth Town Rockers, the other was Kiwi Poppers, right? So that was probably the first time I actually seen local cats out there doing it.
Wow.
And then I was just like, wow, that's amazing. I probably sat around for an hour.
Just watching.
Just wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
I couldn't leave. I was just, my friends were like, "Yo, man, we're going to go home now." I'm like, "Yeah, cool." I didn't go until the cardboard got dragged away, I couldn't leave.
Ooh.
And then a few weeks later, I was in town on a Saturday, and I seen these cats were in Forest Place on the cardboard. Oh, for shit. They're here every Saturday. So that was it for about 3 years straight. I was there every Saturday watching, going home, practicing, watching.
You didn't join them? You still felt too
probably
moved?
the first year, it probably took me maybe till Christmas holidays at the end of that year, like at least 12 months before I even touched the cardboard.
Ah.
You know, I was so intimidated because there were a lot of good crews, there were a lot of good B-boys. You know, like in my opinion, probably a lot of people's opinion, the best crew in the city at a certain period of time was the Electric Roof Rockers.
Okay.
Now,
Never heard of them.
you also had, well, I'm giving it to you.
Yeah,
real,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Thanks,
I'm
man.
breaking it
Please.
down. Rob could have told you all this.
He's too humble, man.
So there was Electric Roof Rockers. Under them, I would have said there was, you know, Radio Rock Crew, Street Force. That was about it, man. Radio Rock Crew and Street Force. Then Rob's crew was Galactic Force. And then I had a crew, Sonic Street Rockers.
Okay.
So we battled Rob's crew 3 times. I'm not even gonna. I'll just leave it at that. It was fun, dude.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
fun.
for
Win
sure.
or lose, we could have been out doing bad things.
Yeah.
We were focusing on destroying each other on the floor. Anyway, to cut a long story short, Electric Roof Rockers had this one guy named Shannon. Now, he was like, you know, just normal looking white guy, humble, but his breaking was just, he made people want to give up. You could invent something and he will do it better than you.
Oh,
He was
one of
that
those
dude.
guys.
He was
Yeah.
like, if you just spent a year working on some intricate thing, he would then do that in front of you. You know, he would do a windmill, go up into a headspin, stop, and then go back down the opposite way.
Nice.
You know, he was a devil. He was really, but to watch was just so much fun to watch. You know, you knew if he was going to do something, you were going to see something really, really. When he would do his flicking, you know, what flicking is.
Yep.
He was so high off the ground. I think that there might be a picture in one of these magazines. He would like normally you'd flick in one spot like that. He would actually move around the car. I can't explain.
Oh, what?
It. I can't
like in a
explain it,
rotation?
I just can't explain it.
Oh, right.
You know, I mean, his top rocking wasn't great. His 6th step was average, but for power. And then later I found out he was a gymnast and like a state sprinter.
Oh, there you go. That helps.
You know, I think he played football at a high level. But anyway, man, that's some of the stuff I saw. I mean, the last big battle that I saw with Electric Roof Rockers against Street Force, Shannon came out with a basketball, put it under his jumper, went out there, starts doing windmill, pulls out the basketball and holds it out here while he's doing windmill.
Oh, nice.
You know, and at the end of the battle, the other crew literally had tears in their eyes.
Because they knew they got smoked.
Some of them, their eyeliner was running, because Prince was big back then.
Oh, true.
And so these dudes were wearing eyeliner and shit. You know, they were cool, dude. They were better than us, man. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they're whack. No, they were good.
Yeah.
But these guys, Electric Roof Rockers were the best. And Shannon, he was just, he had shit that even his own crew members didn't see. He would just start pulling out crazy hidden moves to win these battles.
Was he just like was he super talented or he just trained really hard?
I think he said he would spend the whole week just on one move. Work, you know, first sort of power it right out and then work out all the different ways to get in and out of it. And he was just like really good, you know, and this is in a crew full of killers.
Yeah.
You know,
to be the killer of the killers.
Dolby, Ant, who else did they have? Mark Rowland was like a great popper, like incredible popper. You know, they were just an awesome crew. There was another crew that won the countdown competition. They were called Central City Group.
What's the countdown competition?
Well, every year there was this TV show that played the weekly top 10 and would play music, had started doing the dance competition. And I think it was 84. This crew from Perth.
That's when
sorry, they didn't win it. They represented Perth. I think they came 3rd. So they got to go to Melbourne and go against Melbourne, Sydney,
Yeah.
Adelaide, Brisbane, Northern
Oh,
Territory.
cool.
And Rocksteady came down and judged it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so these guys, you know, they were definitely up there, but they never came and battled in the city. They never danced in the city. They never
Okay.
battled in the city.
They were performers.
You know, they were a little bit older. They were from England.
Uh-huh.
So they were a little bit advanced because I think England was a little bit ahead of Perth.
Yeah.
You know, but as far as in the city, electric roof rockers.
rockers.
You can
Nice.
put, you know, tell them I said that.
Okay.
You know, no one who was there is even going to argue the point.
Oh, wow, that
It's
good.
not even.
Oh, man.
There's no
That's
arguing.
cool.
You
I'd
know,
love to.
Shannon by himself could like. Would
Is
take
Shannon
out
still
whole
around?
crew. What happened to him? I'm sure he's somewhere.
Do you have his name? His full name?
Rob would probably have more information like that.
I'll ask him.
You know.
Sick.
But it was the thing was Forest Places. You went down there. There was music. They had cardboard. Kids were breaking. But the important thing was it was all a mixture of all kinds of nationalities. There was all nationalities. There was no racism within that thing. It was all about the music. You know, it didn't matter if you were brown, white, Asian,
Green.
Indigenous. Everyone, if you could dance, you were accepted.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, obviously other people, you've seen the photos, heaps of crews would rock up and hang out, and you'd see blue tracksuits there and some half a dozen black tracksuits over there, and you know, it was an awesome thing, and you felt that you fit in, and you felt, oh man, this is it. Because before that, I was into Kiss.
Yeah, that's completely
You
different.
know, I was wearing desert boots and black
Yeah.
jeans and black, you
And-
know, I was not, you know, I always liked dancing, but I never,
But the rock didn't even like disco-colored music either, did they? lot
rock
of
and
those-
disco were not close.
Nah,
no,
they were-
no, they were miles apart. And anyway, to break it down quickly, so when b-boying first hit, as far as Perth is concerned, like Mega was saying, overnight, everybody liked it. They either did it or they liked it. No one didn't like it.
Yeah, everyone's auntie and uncle did it.
Everyone, it's weird, man. It's weird. And then after maybe 2 or 3 months, people would say, "Oh, you're still doing that? Don't you know that's out?" You know, and we're sitting there with, you know, they told you we put the black elastic in our shoes.
Yeah.
And, man, even ribbons.
Yeah.
That's how badly we wanted to look like what we were seeing. Like, we created this whole... I haven't even gotten to the rapping, DJing and hip-hop,
No.
and radio and TV part. This is just all started from the b-boying, and all we had was little snippets of information. You know, music clips, video clips, movies, magazines. We'd buy a magazine just because they would have, you know, 20 lines about rap.
Yeah, right.
You know, we had to really, really, you know, get the US, UK charts, see who's on there, and then from that, cross-relate that to what we read in magazines, and then order music that would then take a few weeks to get sent over. That's how we got music.
Wow, that's such a different
It was,
time, man.
You know, and so anyway, so from there it just 87 started rapping.
87, you started rapping.
87. No, sorry, I didn't start rapping. I turned 18 in January, and I was able to get paid to perform. See? So,
In breaking?
MCing.
Emceeing.
And Triple D and his girlfriend did like a locking quick step routine. That's the one you saw at the start of that
Yeah.
other video. Anyway, and then from there, I, you know, did a few jams around. Eddie Triple D started DJing. He'd start, you know, saying to me, "Oh, rap over these beats." I'd rap over beats. So, you know, we were just having fun. '87 went to Melbourne.
What got you into rapping, may I ask?
Well, I was just, because I was listening to it all the time from breaking.
Of course.
So, and I was always good at poetry. It was always easy for me to write rhymes, so...
You always did poetry at school?
Well, if they asked for a rhyme, I'd write like 16 bars and it would all rhyme.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't a hard thing for me.
Yeah.
So, '87 went to Melbourne, performed at a club there, met the dudes that were around at that era. You know? I'm not saying they like me.
Yeah.
Because I said I'm from WA, here to tear it up. That didn't really go down well, but it is what it is, man. And then I think a week later, one of the dudes that I met said, "Oh, there's this jam I think it was like an all age. It was at a venue, but during the day. And you know, the guys were playing a bit of hip hop and a bit of, I don't know, top 40 or something. So I came back to Perth and I thought, man, I'm going to open Toffee Rocks. So that was the first, I think Mega was saying,
yeah, he did.
Upstairs above Hungry Jack's.
Yeah.
Used to
At
be
a club.
It used to have a beer pool hall, and it was like about 3-4 levels up. And the third level, they said we can have like, you know, underage or all age, whatever, hip hop jam. So we started doing that, and that's when the first MCs actually clashed. Because first it was just only me, and I would rap, and Eddie would DJ behind me. And then I think maybe the second or the third week, other rappers all started like lined up. You know, fuck Sugar Ray, Sugar Ray. You know, so I had to battle like about 10 rappers back to back.
Oh,
but that was the birth of the scene.
Wow.
That had to happen.
So it was just all you, and then people were lining up saying, "No, I can take this guy on."
Everyone wanted it.
Everyone was battling you. Like how many times a week?
Well, it got to a stage I just had to be prepared.
You had a lot of lines written out.
Well, you just, you know, I don't know, man. I think I did have a lot of rhymes. I could freestyle a little bit. If I was put under that pressure, I could just, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Just say silly shit.
That's so cool, man. You're getting called out all the time.
Yes, it was crazy, man. It was crazy because by the time I started to take MCing seriously, it's not that I didn't break anymore, but I didn't want to make that the focal point. You know? Mm-hmm. So I would still break here and there, but I tried to sort of focus on myself as a rapper rather than as a b-boy. And then think about 88, through some contacts through Paul Clark, who did a radio show on Catch the Beat. I had rapped at a boat party that he did, and then he said, "Oh, you should do the promo for the radio show, do like a little rap over a beat." I said, "Cool." Went down there, did that, and then
Nice.
I rapped at a Catch the Beat house party, number 2 and number 3. And then 100 FM were opening a station on Canning Highway in Fremantle. And Paul Clark had gone over there, gotten onto the committee, and then contacted, I think he called Triple D first and said, "Oh, do you guys want to do a radio show?" And then I think Eddie said, "Oh, I'm a bit busy with uni, but you can ask Ray, he might have time to do it." You know, so he called me. I said, "Oh, I've never done a radio show." He goes, "Yeah, you don't have to know how to do it. You just bring music and play it." So I was playing Roxanne Shante, City B, Schoolie D, as well as, you know,
that's a cool opportunity, man.
You know, just playing the most gritty like stuff that you wouldn't even know where to buy.
Yeah.
NWA, you know, just whatever, the most grimy underground, as well as make our own little tracks.
There was a market for that, on there. Right? Everyone was breaking. That would have been dead by then. At that time,
breaking was so underground. You know, 99% of the people that liked it hated it. So there was this small, you know, me, Rob, Eddie, Cut and Ice would break a little bit still, he could still break a little bit. But it wasn't, you know, it's like if you saw someone that was big, I was like, oh my God, I'm not the only one here.
Yeah, I get you.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
I get that feeling now. That's how I feel.
So from the radio,
That's a cool experience, man. You get to play whatever you want, and anyone can tune into it and listen to it.
Cool.
Could you tell like how many people were listening to it?
I think Mega was the first person to ring the station
Nice.
and do a shout out. And I saw that and I go, Mega? What the hell is a Mega? I didn't know him from...
Oh, you didn't know him
I
then?
didn't know who he was.
Oh, right.
I didn't meet him 2 years later.
Okay.
But I remember the name.
Yeah.
And he said that, you know, the guy he worked for had told him, oh, these guys are doing a rap show.
Awesome.
It was unheard of. It was unheard of, mate. At that point in time, the most respected radio station was 96 FM.
Yeah.
And their host would be like this. That was In Excess, Kick, and coming up we have Midnight Oil. It was like that. And I'm on there trying to be WBLS and trying to be like Kiss It There, go, hey, what's up? We're playing some Roxanne Shah.
That's way better, man.
You know, just acting silly. You know, someone would beatbox, just start freestyling, just breaking every rule. You know what I mean? And we had fun, and people would listen to the show, and they'd have little parties on Saturday nights, because the show would be 9 to 11, and it would be just to sit around to listen to the show. And around that early stages, we also had a gig at pretty much the only club in Perth that played hip hop and R&B and funk and soul.
Yeah.
And most of the people that were there, I'd say 90%, were South African, Anglo-Indian and Burmese. And the 10% was a couple of Greeks and, you know, Asians and Wogs and, you know, Arabs like myself. But it was, you know, so it was, everyone was into it. It was just a cool thing going from the radio show to the club.
How long were you doing the radio show for?
I think I was probably on there maybe 2 years, because the end of '89 I went to Sydney. And I got to Sydney just before 1990, and I stayed there about 9 months. But before I went to Sydney, me and Cut and Ice released WA's first hip hop album.
Yeah.
Right?
I've been seeing your jams on YouTube.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Oh, what was your album called? It was
Time to Collect, or the Outspit.
I think that's what it was.
Outspit is the one we did about 3 years ago, which has got stuff that's between 5 to 3 years old. And
Okay.
maybe a few tracks that are maybe around 10 years old.
Yeah, there was one you did years ago.
Yeah, but Time to Collect was released in '89. Now, that's the first solo hip hop album in Australia, not just WA.
Oh shit.
Until that point, I think there was maybe 2 hip hop albums released in Australia, maybe 1 or 2, but they were compilations. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
So, and after that, the first, as far as I know, from my knowledge, the first album was maybe Sound Unlimited Posse 92, and then maybe Death Wish Cast 93. You know, it's no disrespect, I could be off 1 or 2 years, but it definitely came a bit later down the track. But you've also got to remember that these crews each had 3 rappers in their crew.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing
was
was
just you.
because I had the material, and Steve had bought a 4-track.
Cut Nice.
Yeah, Cut Nice. I said, come on, man, let's just do it, man.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, it's not going to sound as good as in the studio. So what?
Yeah.
Let's just do it. So we did it, and at the time, you know, we didn't really think that it was going to be the first anything. We knew it would be the first in WA, and we were sure that someone on the East Coast must have done a solo album, and we just took it for granted. You know, but the more we sort of looked into it, shit, we should, you know, get the copies together and get them out there, you know, just as a collector's item even.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you have any?
Well, the thing is, that was the seed.
Yeah.
That was the scene. There is no crew, Perth crew. If you follow the timeline all the way back, who they were influenced by, who they were, it all comes back to me and Steve.
That's fucking dope, man.
See? And I started with Triple D, and we started in a B-boy crew. But Triple D and me and him broke off. I hooked up with Steve. He hooked up with Money J. And so, you know, we've had sort of, you know, the usual thing that you're going to have with rival crews.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was, but if you really want to be honest, it all starts from the B-boy, and then from there you could actually see.
That's dope, man. I want to listen to your album. Where's your album? Can anyone?
If you go to Bandcamp,
Bandcamp.
Nice Sugar Ray.
Yeah. His YouTube channel.
We don't have the whole album on YouTube. We do have some songs. And
I've seen some of your singles on.
Yeah,
on
if
YouTube.
you want to listen to the whole album, just go to Bandcamp. You can listen to it for free.
Oh, cool.
And it just, you know, we just.
That's dope, man.
We do it our way.
Album in Australia.
We do it our way, man.
That's sick.
You know, we don't listen to what's popular or what's considered good. We have fun and do it the way we do it.
That's it, man. You're not supposed to follow the herd.
No,
Definitely not.
No.
Dude.
Wow. So I've said a lot. I think that'll drink some water.
Yeah, you're fine, man. Dude, this is so interesting. So now we're in like a timeline of 1990, and you've gone to Sydney for 6 months.
Yeah, 9 months.
9
While
months,
I was
sorry.
there, the first week that I was there, I entered a rap competition. I said, a rap competition? I thought, cool. You know, so I went in there and I entered this competition, and I was just by myself, just backing tape and or instrumental, whatever. And one of the crews that I was in the heats with, Ducky and what's the other dude's name? I can't remember the other dude's name. They were from a crew called Bad Reputation.
Okay. In Sydney.
And they had just come off tour with Run DMC. So they were the shit.
The hype.
You know,
Yeah.
Awesome dude. I think one was Brazilian, one was maybe Tongan or Samoan. You know, the nicest dudes. And when they did the comp, to get through the heats, I was like, you know, against them. They let the crowd decide, and they couldn't pick the winner, right? So then they did it a second time, and they sort of, you know, managed to get it over. But I just got off the bus from Perth, bro. Literally got off the bus from Perth.
Wow.
These guys, they had their family there, they toured with Run DMC. People were telling me, no, you're not going to win that. They got these guys that toured with Run DMC. They're the best in Perth. Okay, well, in Sydney. They said, these guys are the best in Sydney. I said, man, I'm the best in Perth. And they are like, yeah, good luck. But I was there to lose. I was there to get better. Experience. Like winning or losing was the same to me. As long as it made me get better.
Yeah, dude, that opportunity as well, just to like get up with them and then travel. Oh man, that's sick.
Anyway, so
you shook them though. You shook them.
Yeah. So when I lost the competition, I went straight, shook hands.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh shit, this guy's cool. And I let everyone know I was representing Perth. I was wearing like a Wildcats warm-up jersey with the Wildcats shirt. Anyway, so I was looking like a clown. And then whenever I would go to a venue, if they were there on the mic, they'd see me bang. You know what I mean? So they would just give me the mic, man. Who else did I meet? Case and Mentor from Just Us.
No, I don't know.
They had released a EP, man, like maybe 85, dude. We had 4 or 6 tracks on it. You know, so they were like even before me. But notice I'm giving props to those that came before me.
Sure.
Which is, to me, that's a part of the, you know, like, oh, I didn't just get here. And
yeah, exactly.
You feel me? I can't say,
man.
I wasn't influenced by anyone. I mean,
man.
I call myself the first Perth MC because I know I was the first Perth MC. But I do know that Birdie used to rap at Jules. But he's a famous DJ, man. He never stepped out from behind the decks and became an MC.
You were the first in Melbourne and Sydney.
Yeah, I definitely would have been the first rapper from Perth to go rap in Melbourne, go rap in Sydney. I don't know how long it took before they came over here, and how long it took before we started going over there. But it was like a suicide mission, man. You didn't know what you were in for.
Yeah, I see.
You know,
Yeah.
in Melbourne, me and my homeboy got chased.
For what? Just
Because
for rapping?
I told him I was from Perth, mate.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
And the funny thing is, in '87 when I went there, that's the first time I heard rappers rap in an Australian accent.
It's different.
So I was like spinning out. So when I came back here, I started doing it too. And then if rappers would rap in an American accent, I would use that against them and diss them and say, man, why are you do it? And I used to do it as well, though.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that was just something that it just happened, man. People just.
Oh,
Our
shit.
attitude was, yeah, why are we rapping in an American accent?
Yeah.
We should rap in our own accent.
Mega was
our own
talking about
voice.
that too.
And if our accent is Chinese, we should be rapping in a Chinese accent.
Yeah.
If it's Indian, we should. It doesn't matter. It's about being real, not about but if it's American, it'll be accepted better, which it would be. You know, but that wasn't the ultimate goal. It was better to be real.
Yeah,
And
like,
know,
who are you?
And know that you're real.
Yeah.
Than to be fake and still not get anywhere anyway.
Yeah.
If you're not going to get anywhere, you'd rather at least do it real rather than be fake and still not get anywhere. You know?
Isn't that what a part of hip hop is to express who you are?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has to. Everyone just has to work out.
But I get we get
You know?
influenced though. We get influenced
Of course,
by everything,
man.
and all the people.
Look, since way back then, I've obviously met a lot of good rappers, and I've met a lot of rappers that use an American accent. I've never said anything, and I wouldn't. It doesn't worry me. They can do it any way they want to do it, man.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't make an issue of it, but back then I did because it was an angle I could use. If someone wanted to act smart towards me, I said, dude, you're not even rapping in your own voice.
yeah, of course.
You're rapping in a fake accent.
Then
you're
you
trying
can
to challenge me. You know, use your own voice. Then at least we're both real. You know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that happened.
Smart.
Um,
So you were there for like 9 months in Sydney, Melbourne, touring.
well, I went to Melbourne '87. That was only like 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then when I went to Sydney, that was about 9 months, and it was just before I turned 21, because I turned 21 on 25th of January. But it was cool. I went to the DMC competition in Sydney 1990, the state championships. DJ ASK won, and there was this guy. He came third. He had like a shaved head. I think he was Chilean or something. And then a couple of weeks later, I was at a party, and he was DJing. And you know, we're talking, blah blah blah. And then I think maybe I said I was a rapper, and he said he was a DJ, and he was the dude that had come third in that competition. I was like, oh no way!
He's good.
Shout out DJ Gus. What was his name? Gus. Anyway, DJ Gus, I think he lived like around Penrith, and he had, like samplers and, programs to record on his computer.
So
and he was like, yeah, man, come over, we'll record some tracks. So, I recorded a few tracks with him, just sort of for fun, never released a bit of it with him. And then after I left, he had done one track on Death Wish Cast's first EP.
Okay.
And Death Wish Cast is like, just a crew from that era that are still releasing stuff now, just very, very incredible. Sir Rec, Dicey, me. I've never met them personally, but obviously, I can see by what they're doing that they're doing shit. Like, they were the type of rappers that would b-boy as a part of their set, because they're from that original
Dope.
old school.
That's
And
sick.
the music is all sort of that electro and heavy drum beat, scratching. Very similar to what me and Cut and Ice were doing.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but you can see we're kind of from that same era, and that's why I respect it even more. So, so that was pretty cool.
What happened to all those songs that you made? Did you guys do anything with it once you went back to Perth?
The ones I did in Sydney?
Yeah.
I think it was maybe just 2 or 3 tracks, just
fucking around.
Yeah, I mean, they were cool.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, there was no idea to do anything behind it,
Cool.
Um,
So you were just traveling for fun. You weren't You weren't trying to live in Sydney or anything. You just were going to stay for a while.
I definitely wanted to check out the scene.
Yeah.
I felt
What was it like?
It was cool. It's,
What's
have
the
you been
difference? Well, yeah, it's a different time now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
It
I've
was
done it
huge,
heaps of
man.
times.
Like hip hop was huge. Everyone was into hip hop. Just there were
Like,
migrants everywhere.
Was it a different type of flavor though? Because from Perth just for b-boys, Perth b-boys are different to all the other places. We have a different style, different flavor,
Yeah.
Is it what's it like
At that time?
Yeah. Did you notice much difference? Or was it more of the fact that everyone was being influenced by the same people because it was such a young thing?
Okay. In 1990 in Sydney, obviously they had more people doing it than Perth.
Yeah.
They probably had a similar number to, say, Melbourne. I mean, the scene seemed sort of more friendly than Melbourne. I mean, Melbourne was okay, but it was pretty hardcore.
Yeah, rough.
Yeah, it was pretty hardcore. The Sydney scene, like, I don't know, man. Everyone I met seemed pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Everyone was pretty cool. Everyone was like accepting. I mean, you know what it's like if you're.
You were the only MC in Perth versus how many MCs are there in Sydney and Melbourne?
Yeah, a lot.
It'd be.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Melbourne probably didn't like me that much, but I did make a couple of friends while I was there. But the majority of the people there didn't really like me.
Perth boy.
Sydney, for whatever reason, I seem to be more accepted.
You thrived a bit better.
Maybe I was more humble. I didn't rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
But if I rapped in Sydney and told I was from Perth, someone would come up and say, "Oh, all the rappers in Perth rap like that." I'd be like, "Yeah, man."
Nice.
You know what I mean? I was going to say, "Nah, everyone else is shit, and I'm good."
Yeah.
But Perth was good. We did have a lot of good rappers that were around that era when I. Just after I had started, maybe they came after me a little bit, but not they weren't that far behind me. Skank, Perfexi, High Five with Spit Lyrics, Brad Hanna, Criminal Force, who were those other guys? Scotty Schmidt's crew, Tactical Response. There was a lot of people doing it, but it wasn't, shout out Miles, Mixer, but there wasn't, you couldn't really do much with it, man. Perth was already so small, and at that time, rap wasn't even on the charts.
Yeah.
You would go past the shopping centre, and I'm not lying, there'd be a billboard promoting PMFM, and it would, in big letters, say, "No rap crap." And it wasn't a few years after that rap took over the whole.
Yeah, how funny is that?
By the late 90s, the whole top 10 of the music charts was rap, R&B, rap, R&B.
Yeah,
rap.
I remember this discussion. I had this discussion on your Facebook page that DJ Chips was talking to you guys about hip hop and who are the real OGs, right?
Yeah.
And how people hated on hip hop, and now those people or their grandkids are listening to hip hop.
Yeah.
It's funny how times change.
Look, man, when I got into it, every crew was different. There were crews rapping about pimping, crews rapping about getting drunk, there were crews rapping about street fighting. There was crews rapping about video games. There was crews rapping about parties. It wasn't till later on that gangster became the dominant force. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, that's what the labels wanted, that's what they pushed, and that's what took over the charts. Tupac, Biggie, you know, NWA, all of that stuff. All the negative, like, you know, all the positive stuff, the spiritual stuff, the, you know, all the stuff Public Enemy talks about, all of that was kind of, no, that's not in. It's got to be violence, drugs,
Seems like,
or stripping.
Yeah.
You know, and some of the rappers were like, oh, okay.
It still is.
If you're going to pay me, I'll
that's
rap
true.
about whatever you want me to pay me. You know, which that's understandable. People want to make money.
Yeah.
But that's when I started to not that I didn't like it, but I thought, man, I kind of like just that 80s era and you know early 90s, and then once it started getting a bit out of control, I didn't really like it as much.
Yeah.
You know, I still like new stuff. If it sounds good, I like it. But I definitely did see that
You have to sift
it went in a strange direction. It wasn't about being unique, having your own style. It was about, oh, this guy's doing this and it's selling. Everybody copy this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everyone's trying to get signed, everyone's trying to sell, make money, and sometimes that can interfere with the true essence of the product, and that's what I felt. But in saying that, no one liked it when I was into it, so I don't expect anyone to like what I like. You know?
I get you. What kind of, I haven't had a chance to listen to any of your albums, but what kind of messages were you trying to send when you were rapping? Like what would you say your dominant force of message was?
I mean, for myself, like when I rap, a lot of my stuff is abstract. At the same time, I throw in life experiences.
That's sick.
You know, messages about, you know, have a go, don't give up. I mean,
love that.
I mean, dude, I was born in North Africa, dude.
Yeah?
But I wasn't supposed to do all this.
Oh, you know about struggle then.
How was I supposed to? Right now, I should be on the side of a goat, of a mountain.
Right.
I should be on the side of a mountain trying to milk a goat.
Yeah.
Listening to the footy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But somehow I came to Perth. I was 3 when I came here. Couldn't speak English.
Man.
You know, I got into hip hop. Once I got into hip hop, it just a lot of things happened, man.
Yeah, it shifted.
You know,
dude, respect to you, man. That's sick.
Dude, I did what everyone wanted to do. I wanted to create what I thought was happening in New York.
Okay.
You know, by reading a magazine and watching a video clip and hoping there's enough people into it.
Okay.
And that was my, you know, Deaf at the Edge, like that was my idea.
Okay.
You know, I just thought, man, should we have a hip hop jam? And there was a skateboard park. And then, you know, I called it Deaf at the Edge, and kids came down, and then it was after that I went to Sydney, and the one that got filmed, I wasn't actually here, but at least dudes kept it going, man. You know, the same with Scratch FM. When I stopped doing Scratch FM, you know, Cut Nice and JD, which is Jeff Daffin, shout out, they kept it going because we weren't getting paid. You know, it was all for love, man.
Yeah.
You know, but people, when you're giving someone something they want that they can't get from anywhere else, you know?
I see, man.
Yeah, and then fast forward about 15 years from that, we started a hip hop TV show called Hip Hop Gladiators on Channel 31.
Oh shit! That's sick.
You know, it is what it is, man. I mean,
oh man,
you know,
what was on your TV show?
It was all hip hop, graph, rapping, breaking,
like documenting people.
Not even really much presentation. It was more just boom, take that.
Okay.
Boom, and
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
here's some breaking, and here's some MCing,
yeah,
here's some graffiti.
yeah, rap battles and random b-boying, and then
Nice.
some guys illegally graphing a train while it's still moving. Just, it was crazy. But people that love that where else were they going to get that? So that's how I always looked at things.
Yeah.
If you're going to give, it's like you're doing this for the b-boys.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not a b-boy, you
don't want to listen to this.
Why
Yes,
would you?
even if you're from Perth, like not from Perth,
Yeah.
you don't want.
But if you're a b-boy, you're going to relate to every word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Beat Street in Perth was released after breakdance, like the next school holidays would have been May. So you had the Christmas holidays, breakdance came out, then by May holidays, Beat Street came out. Now, Beat Street was like the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah all mixed into one
Okay.
for anyone who wanted to do graph, b-boy, rap, or DJ, or beatbox. I don't know if you've seen it, but you never saw Beat Street?
No. That's my homework.
There was a scene where Rocksteady Crew and New York City Breakers battle
I mean, I've seen clips
at
of
the
it.
Roxy,
Yeah.
at the club. Now, every b-boy that was still b-boying at that time of a high caliber would have that scene queued up on the VHS, and every morning would just turn that on,
Yeah.
because I did it. Every morning I would turn that on, and as I'm getting dressed, ready for school, watch that scene before I would, have breakfast or before I would leave the house, get on my bike, pop at least 2 windmills, just keep it clean, get to school, every lunchtime, gym, all the other kids are playing basketball,
Doing
I'm on the stage getting my windmills faster, trying to point my toes, keep my legs straight, keep my legs as wide as possible, just trying to swing them as fast as I could, just work on it until I would be like a fan.
Yeah.
And then when I would take my hands away, go into flicker, and it was just, and these guys playing basketball, like, what an idiot. What's he, doesn't he know?
No one's doing that anymore.
But the thing is, there's something about when you're that dedicated, you don't care what people think, man.
No, you don't.
You're doing it because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you're doing something that it's only for other people's enjoyment, that's going to come out.
Yeah.
They can see that you're not really into it. But if you're into it, you don't even know what people are thinking. You don't even care.
Yep.
You do it because you want to do it. You love it.
Yeah.
And that's why I did it, and I know that's why other b-boys did it.
It's fucking powerful, man. You should care about how you feel, not what people feel towards you.
No.
Man, so what do you have here? Was there anything else coming back from the TV of your hip hop show?
What do you mean?
You did a hip hop channel 31.
Yeah.
Was there anything after that you were getting into before I showed this footage?
I did teach breaking in '99.
Where at?
Yeah. I started off at a dance studio on Murray Street.
Okay.
I think that they have like
Sick,
a
man.
dance there. I mean, it was cool because at that point it had sort of stopped for a long time. Like no one had taught anything for over 10 years. And then that Run DMC, Jason Nevins came out, and gave it like a resurgence, So, I was only sort of in my 30s at that time, or late 20s or early 30s. So I could still, lucky enough, still do some shit, and I could still remember, could fill a couple of pages from the easiest stuff that I had learned, like the arm waves, all the basic popping and, top rocking and glides, and then it would get down to the 6 steps and, the hop turtles and the backspin with the jazz spin, and then the flick spin, and then the windmills and the combos, and, and I could do most of that. Like, I couldn't do head spin. I was never really You know, I've done a few pin drops, but I wasn't gonna like try to battle someone using
Right.
head spins, man.
Right.
You know, I tried to sort of stick to what I could do, but it was fun, man. It was fun teaching, and
It is, especially when they're getting better. It's so
yeah,
it feels so
yeah.
good.
Well, you know, I will do anything I can to pass that knowledge on. I'll try to break it down, dumb it down
Oh, awesome.
as much as possible, because someone taught me windmill, so I teach the same way.
Yeah.
You know, why change a formula that works there? And using that technique, I did manage to teach, you know, at least one girl and a couple of guys.
Dope.
You know, so it's like, oh.
And then they can pass it on.
Well,
Really cool.
yeah, man. Well, once you know the technique, it's just the execution.
Yeah, that's it.
Know? And sometimes there's very small aspects of it. Like when I first tried to do women when I was young, I hurt myself like everyone else.
Is it your lower back?
You kick and then you land like that, and you're like, oh, what the hell did I just...
Man, all the bruises down here.
And then one day someone will show you the right technique.
Yeah.
And you never do it wrong again, because now you know how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, I just learned how to do it, and I started doing it, and just got really addicted to doing it, man.
It's fun. It feels like you're flying, man. Every time you learn a new power move.
Yeah, I just, you know, it's swipes, anything. I love the, I don't know, man. It's just a weird...
I know why, man. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I know why.
It's not something you can explain. You have to do it, and if you feel it, rock it. If you don't, do something else.
Oh, man. I want to show what we have here. What was this? Was this the first battle?
This was the third battle, man.
The third battle in Perth?
No, this is the third battle against Rob and his motley crew. The first time was when he was in Galactic Force. Then the second time, he tried to ambush us and just rocked up with like a few cats from different crews to try to battle us.
Oh,
and then
right.
this time we'd organised it properly, and me and a couple of mates hired a camera from a hot shop.
Nice.
And we fucking filmed it, dude.
How many times did you guys do this? You just
What, battle?
Yeah. It was just two rival crews just coming at each other.
I mean, at this point, this would have been maybe 86. I'd say this was around 85, 86. So at that point, there weren't many B-boys, and there were even less crews, you know.
Yeah, sure.
There was stuff there. You know, but Rob was a hardcore B-boy. There's me going out.
This is you?
You know, yeah, Rob was he was like one of the most intense hardcore B-boys.
Yeah?
And just, you know, he would spit on his head on gravel. He was just, I can't explain how intense he was, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, respect to Rob though, this is probably the stage before he started getting really smooth. He was still a little bit, well, you know, he was still good.
It takes a while, man. Breaking's not easy.
But it wasn't until like years after this that Rob just became very smooth, very just unbelievable, you know.
Yeah.
This stage he was good, but he wasn't like a superstar. I mean, I know he's probably not argue that point. But it was good, man. That's Alex Friday. There he goes.
Who's that?
Rob.
Oh, he's like, fuck, yeah, they're dissing him.
I think he was trying to jump into a windmill opposite direction, but it didn't quite go to plan. I mean, he does better stuff later to make up for that. I mean, you know, I stuffed up half of my goes. It was just, when you look back, you always go, oh, why didn't I do that better? Why couldn't I have done that better? But, you know, it is what it is.
But you haven't battled that much doing in this time right now. You probably haven't battled that much though, have you?
Well, the thing is, that's where we would go to have our practices, and so as a crew we did try to still stick together, and on Sunday nights have a practice, and you know work on moves, work on routines, help each other. But you know slowly, like I was telling you, when people started saying it was out, we have our own relatives tell us why you're still doing it. We would have literally, Eddie. We would have people pretty much everywhere. There's Jason. He DJs at the Brisbane.
Oh,
Jason was very good, man. And he was so young as well. He was like, he had women when he was like 12 or something.
Nice.
Well, there's old Uncle Ray.
Old Uncle Ray. Who's old Uncle Ray?
No, me.
Oh, you? Oh, right. Oh, I thought you were on that side.
No. I was always on the opposite side to Rob. So I thought I'd throw in a couple of these just to keep it funky. Like when I showed this battle to some of the older cats, like the generation that would have come before you, they looked at this sequence and go, oh, they made a joke like, oh, you guys liked windmills back then. But they didn't realise that was our airplay.
Yeah.
That was our airplay, man. The windmill might have been nothing, but back then the windmill was like the standard
crazy move.
Well, you wanted a windmill.
Yeah.
You didn't want to go out there and do a knee spin and a hand spin.
No.
That wasn't gonna.
No.
No one was gonna give you props for that. And then by the time you got windmill, the people doing it with their hands. So you know,
there's always another level.
Was high. Like you know, if people are b-boying doing all this awesome stuff and someone goes out there and does a moonwalk, it doesn't really.
Yeah.
You know, someone just spun on their head 20 times, and now you're gonna go spin on your knee, and you think people are gonna respect that?
Yeah.
That was the attitude. Whether that's how it was or not, that was the attitude, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't about doing anything whack or anything that anyone could do.
Yeah.
It was about doing shit that no one could do.
Yeah, it was that doing the craziest shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're trying to win a battle, man. You know, so that's why you watch people that were better than you, and you went home and practiced. And you didn't want to bring something to the table that was going to get laughed at. People were getting laughed at every day.
Yeah,
you know, kids would come out and do a backspin there
and diss you.
Well, you didn't get a lot of props for that.
Nah.
You know, so who cares, man? It was very intense. It was very competitive, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, there was generally no violence.
Sick, man. This is so cool. This would be, what year would this be?
I reckon it would probably be like 85, 86.
Oh, wow. 85, 86.
And don't forget, we'd only started in 84.
Yeah.
Like Rob.
Hey, man, that's better than me.
Rob Clancy started like 83 because he knew people that had seen it and showed it to him and had like, you know, the movies from Asia or whatever. But people caught up quick.
Yeah.
People catch up quick, man.
Look at that, man. Yeah. That guy is definitely a gymnast.
Yeah, he used to do acrobatics. That's Central City Brew.
Yeah, right.
Guys that went to the countdown competition.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's two cousins, or two brothers and a cousin. I think this was at the telephone.
Yeah, right.
So can people see that?
Yeah, they will. They're gonna see that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll put this on. This is sick.
Yeah, so these guys were no slouches, but they were a little bit elitist. They didn't really want to hang out in the street and battle cats in the street. Yeah. They didn't really need to. They had a huge name and a huge reputation. But like I said, man, I can only tell you what I saw.
Yeah.
What I saw and what I did. That's all I can tell you.
Dope.
Like if someone tells me something that they saw, I'll say, oh, someone else may have seen something different. You know. But everyone knew who they were because they were on Countdown, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when they came back, they were doing gigs, they were teaching. You know, but they definitely would have had a few weeks or a few months of just absolute superstar status.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Sick, man. This is really cool. Clean backspin. For them too.
So these guys are Burmese, but they lived in England. So they have English accents, and they, you know, they came from an era that had gotten it before we had seen it.
Yeah.
You know, I think some Americans had gone to England to do the gigs to show hip hop and that. So I think England had it just a little bit before Australia and the rest of the world. But like I said, you know, you see something you like, you emulate it, and you try to improve on it, and that's what it was all about. I mean,
it is, man.
Rob and his crew, they were actually my first instructors there. You know what I mean? A member of Rob's crew is the one who taught me windmill. Taught me and my friend Roy windmill. And, you know, once we learned windmill, it's going for the limit, man.
Yeah.
We weren't stopping after that. We didn't care what was that. Oh, this is just so long.
Yeah. That's alright.
English movies. So yeah, man, I've told you quite a bit.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to share? Or you have anything else to show before we finish? Because we've still got about 10 minutes.
That was
oh, what's
Eddie,
this?
me and Roy.
Oh, right. After your battle?
That was at the Octagon Theatre.
Cool, I'll send pictures of this. Oh, yeah, there's your performance.
So that was the year before the one that you had seen before.
Should we go to that?
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna find it.
We're in 87. So this is when the Beastie Boys came out. Just like a promo shot.
This is nice, man. Oh, everyone had the denim jackets as well,
Yeah.
with their painting on it.
Yeah.
Sick. Oh, you were a boxer as well?
Oh, you know, I trained. I never fought, but I called myself Sugar Ray, so
Yeah,
I
of
might as well
course.
at least.
There's no better motivation than not trying to get hit in the face, though, is
bit
it?
of training. Oh, absolutely. So that was the first hip hop video clip in Perth.
Oh,
that was for a song called Pushing the Broom. That's Bebop Seal, DJ Triple D, myself. That's at Scratch FM, that's me. Cash Tip, he was a wicked MC, DJ Triple on the decks. That was at Toffee Rocks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got that idea from Melbourne, came back, used it here, and at least someone turned up, you know?
Oh, man.
This was the second time we battled Rob. And these dudes that he brought up, he didn't even tell us he was battling, man. We rocked up to training because that's the same spot that we all practice. We had more members here. See, that guy there, have you heard of Stormboy? Stormy?
I have heard of him.
That's him.
You're right.
He was a b-boy in our crew.
Okay.
Yeah, so we rock up to rehearsal and then someone says, oh, who are all those guys out the front? And we're like, what guys? And I go, I don't know, man. I've seen heaps of guys out the front. And then someone went out there and go, oh, Rob's out there with a crew. We're just rehearsing.
Rob,
we're rocking up to rehearse. and he's got like 2 guys from this crew, 1 guy from this crew, 2 guys from that crew. You know,
He just made an elite crew to battle you guys.
The first time we battled him was when it was against the Adidas Tracksuit Galactic Force.
Yeah, right.
Like their full squad.
Yeah.
And we brought Central City Groove to judge it.
Yeah.
So after the battle, we go to Rob. We go, oh, come here. These guys are going to judge it. He goes, no, I don't want them to judge. and they go, okay, so what? He goes, I don't know. And then, I'm not going to lie to you, this is exactly what they said. We felt we had won.
Yeah.
The Rob's crew, I think they felt it was quite even.
Yeah.
You know, to give them respect.
Yeah.
And then these guys said, oh, well, you know, these guys had the Adidas tracksuits all matching. You guys looked all sort of different. So it was close, but we'll give it to them. And we were like, okay. And then I said to Rob, I go, all right, we'll battle you next week in Forest Place. And then the crowd was like, nah. He reckons, nah. So then, like,
Dude,
a few months later, he just rocks up. All these sneakers belong to.
Oh shit! How many people were you battling? Out of how many?
There was a lot, dude. There were more photos, but I don't have them.
That's so funny, man.
You know? So
Rob seems like such a competitive guy, man.
yeah. So this was a great battle.
Mm.
You know, the one you saw there was a great battle. The first one, they were all great battles. They were all fun. You know, plus there were the countless battles on the cardboard. You go see a movie, you come back, and there'd be members of your crew already halfway in the battle, be like, oh man, we're battling this guy. Oh, cool. You know what I mean? Finish your drink.
Yeah, come join in.
Battle.
Oh, that's sick.
You know, it was just an incredible. The competitiveness was just so much fun, and that's what kept it alive.
Yeah.
And I tried to take that into the rap game.
Yeah.
So, you know, I tried to constantly push and be ahead. So as soon as other rappers would catch up to me, I would already
Be ahead of them.
try as long as I could, as far
Have
as
more material than them.
you know, work with the DJ, have samples ready to diss them with, or you know, just be constantly trying to think of antics.
Yeah.
You know, just to do a straight show isn't enough. Man.
Yeah.
You've got to have all these extra things that are just going to
keep
compound.
leveling up. Yeah. What's next? What's next?
Yeah,
Push more.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, you're competing against yourself. You're not competing against the people around you.
You're so true.
You're trying to push yourself further than you were yesterday.
That's facts.
Now, if that pushes you ahead of everyone, great.
Yeah.
If that's still not good enough to be the best one, that's great too. At least you know where you stand. But you're competing against yourself. You're pushing yourself. You know what I mean? If there's a title, you should strive for it.
Yeah.
You know, to get as close as possible to it. If there's no title, create one.
Yeah.
You know, just you have to create your own scene. No one is, you know. That's what I felt like. You know, I put a lot of money into a lot of events, and most of the time, pretty much none of the time, got anything back. But put on great events. You know, the biggest one was that Fremantle Jar.
I heard about that. Yeah, Nigel was talking about that.
Nuts, man. It was just a huge event, and you know, there was rappers. I mean, Optimus was there.
Okay.
From Downside.
Okay.
You know, he was asking me if he can sweep the stage. You know, he went on to win 10 whammies and an ARIA too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
That's sick, man.
It was, yeah. I mean,
Dude, what was that jam like?
It was just a huge jam, and my attitude back then when I did a jam was like, if you came up and said, oh, can I jump on the decks? I'd be like, oh,
go for it. Yeah.
Or if you said, oh, can you drop an instrumental, I can spit some lyrics, it was like, cool. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, hang on, who are you? Who do you know? I don't know you.
Yeah.
Why should I give you an opportunity? It was about having fun, creating opportunities for others. You know what I mean? When you help other people, you help yourself.
Yeah.
But sometimes people, they don't want to do something that can help anyone else. They only want to do it only if it only helps them, but no one else can benefit. But then that doesn't really get you.
That doesn't make the scene grow, does
No. You know, I don't know. That's how I looked at it. I mean,
I think you're right, man.
you know,
Yeah.
my son was born in '96, and then I just sort of slowed down a lot. I tried to sort of focus on just, you know, paying the bills and,
Yeah.
you know, getting him what he needs and not putting as much into it. But
Did you influence your son into hip hop?
well, he's just about 2 years ago he finished a double major, media and graphic design, and he's probably done maybe a dozen rap clips for local artists.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Tasoko, who else? Goon.
Okay.
I think he's working on doing a cipher with you know, I don't want to say who's in it, but there's some heavy hitters.
Cool. Dope, man.
So that should be sort of happening early next year or something like that. So you know, he listens to hip hop every day, you know. So he's he's into it, not the same way, in the same lane. He's got his own lane.
Yeah.
And you know, when he does his clips, it's not like just a normal clip where they film it from 3 different angles and then he slides it together. When you watch his clip, you feel like you're watching a scary movie. You know, he really he has a different understanding of what he's trying to create. He doesn't want to just make it look like everything else. He wants it to stand out. You can't teach that.
No.
That's like an innate. He just understands that he has to, you know. And now he's like, he used to do clips for free. Now he's charging like 4 G's for a clip.
Shit, man, that's good.
A lot of that goes to production costs to make it good.
Yeah.
Because, you know, anyone can just take a camera and just
angles. It's so easy, man.
You know,
the basics.
But no, he's into it, man. He's into it.
Is he filming any of yours?
Yeah, he hasn't filmed any of mine yet.
What? Come on, son.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, son.
I know. but you know, if he's working on something to make money, I can't stop him. From getting his bag because I want a free. Free work.
I feel you.
And I don't think he's gonna do it anyway.
So are you making any more songs, any more tracks? When's the last time you? Well, I've seen on YouTube. It's probably like 2 years ago.
I think the last track I recorded was maybe 2 months ago at Cut Nice's house. Yeah.
Nice. Six. Are you still?
Yeah.
Man, where are you putting them up? Are they all on Cut Nice's channel? I didn't see all.
You haven't seen them all?
No.
Look, man, before you do anything, check out Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, okay.
That's got like about 10 songs on there.
Cool.
And
it's a link, right? I can put the link on the.
Yeah, if you go Bandcamp, Cut Nice Sugar Ray, it should take you to where our album is. Our album is called Our Spit.
Okay.
And at least you can hear the whole album that way. And it gives you an idea of.
Well, I'm going to put it on the link.
I might sell a few more copies.
Yeah, sick. Why not, man?
Because there's no price
Chuck
on
your
it.
links
It's
in, man.
just people, if they want to buy it, they can pay what they want.
Yeah.
You know, I did have a guy give us $30, so that was cool. Shout out,
sick, man. Keep creating, man. That's dope.
But yeah, we do it for fun. We don't.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have any expectations. We do it for fun. We like doing it. If we rock the show. We rock the show. You know, 8 years ago, me and Steve opened for KRS-One.
KRS-One, what's KRS-One?
KRS-One.
KRS-One.
From Boogie Down Productions.
Okay.
South Bronx, South. You know, KRS-One?
No, I haven't. I'm sorry, man. I'm too noob.
He's a New York rapper from 87.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
He's managed to hang around, you know, he does a lot of talks and meetings and that's talking about hip hop. And in '89, we also opened for Tone, who was the first American rapper to actually come and perform in Perth. So that was huge.
Sick.
That was a huge thing. You know, they had b-boys, they had people were
Oh,
playing.
they brought their own b-boys.
No, it was all local.
Oh,
It
sick.
was all local, man. Like if you b-boyed, you got in for free, and all you had to do was
Oh,
b-boy
nice.
as much as you can. I
Yeah.
had people doing graph.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The scene was different back then. Like it was more all together. Whereas now I feel like the beatboxing has broken off, the DJs have broken off, the rappers have broken off, the graph writers, you know, but hip hop is all the elements together. Man. One element isn't strong without the other three elements together. So when that's in a jam, you can feel it.
You can.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh no, rappers are the most popular right now, so we're going to disregard all aspects. And it doesn't. You can't cut off your leg because your arm is stronger.
No.
You need your leg.
Yeah,
you
I love that analogy.
Hip-hop, all the elements are as important. I can't graph to save my life, but I like it and I respect it as an important element as the DJing, the rapping, or the dancing.
Yeah.
You know, but that's my
Same.
opinion.
No,
That's
same
how I
here.
see it. Yeah, that's how I see it. If you know, and when I see it breaking off and going splintering into different areas, I still like it and I support them, but I feel like they could be a lot bigger if they embrace the culture as a whole, not just, oh no, we just want the battle rap part. The battle rap is awesome, but why is it by itself?
Yeah, you're right.
It's not a separate part of hip hop. You know? Or the DJing or rapping or anything, you know. But
why do you think that is? Why people are doing that? I feel like it's just gone more niche.
Because they never experienced it together.
Ah, you're right.
They didn't know what it tastes like when all the ingredients were put in the same pot. They'd only had the ingredients separate. Like when they saw 8 Mile with Eminem, they saw battle rap as a different thing. And it is a different thing, but it's related to the same. Without the original,
that's so true.
The original concept, there would not be
a
battle rap scene.
Yeah, without the whole thing, there wouldn't be any of it.
I think even when hip hop first started in the States, the music attracted people that wanted to dance to it.
Yeah.
And then that evolved into people trying to outdo each other and so on and so forth. How much time have you got?
5-10 minutes.
Another thing that I don't know how you're going to take it, but I heavily looked into the dance moves from their origins as martial arts moves.
Yeah.
See what I mean? I don't know if many people actually know that or understand that.
Yeah.
But I've like really tried to look into it and tried to find the Kung Fu style that has has a lot of its actual movements are actual b-boy moves, and then try to reverse engineer that to see how I could use that as a form of self-defense.
Oh, nice.
You know?
Yeah.
And have actually been in situations where I probably didn't have a good chance of surviving, but just whatever happened, it worked.
Really?
You know, because it's a very unorthodox.
Like doing a sweep and then knock his legs off.
Well, that's simple.
Yeah.
It's very unorthodox, but you didn't learn it as a martial art move. You learned it as a backswing.
Yeah.
You practiced it thousands and thousands to get the fastest backswing. So if someone's standing there, of course it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt a lot, man. Because you're following through with intensity.
Yeah. Have you done that before?
I have been in a situation where I was outnumbered and everything just kind of happened, man. I didn't have time to think. So, and it was a point in my life when I had made that link between the b-boy and the martial arts and had actually tried to practice it with the understanding and the intention that, oh, okay, this is how this would work, this is how that would work. And, you know, if you're on the ground on your back and you understand how it works, basically people can't get close to you.
Yeah.
Because you look like you're in not a dominant position, but if you know the techniques, the b-boy techniques that can actually be used, you know, people can't get close to you. I've used it against people that have never lost. And I've just created a stalemate because they're like, oh,
That's so good.
I can't even, you look like you've trained something here, you know, and I've never been to a kung fu class in my life.
Dude, that's funny, man.
You know, but
Cool.
I just think crazy shit like that.
That's funny.
I mean, I do have something on YouTube
Mm.
where I filmed some stuff that I did using some of the techniques. I'll show you before I go.
Yeah, sure.
I will
Please.
show you. And I don't know how people are going to take it because it looks sort of like
What is it?
crazy, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. So
Thanks for sharing this
different.
and this your journey,
My
with the hip-hop,
perspective.
your perspective. Dude, it's
Absolutely.
been sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome, bro. Thanks for having
Thanks
me.
for coming.